Hi and welcome to another episode of the Restoration Shack. You'll see it's getting a bit colder because I've had to change my hat, and with that it's meaning I can't do much paint work. So I was trying to get some clear coat on the purple chopper bike, which hopefully you've been watching, and just due to the temperature it's too cold. The frame, it's basically turned the clear coat a bit milky, so I'll have to wait for the weather to warm up or get a bit more better heat in the workshop. So what I've done is I thought, well, we'll throw another bike on the rack and we'll have a go at that. So this is something I found on eBay as a project parts bike. It was missing quite a few bits, but the main parts were there, so the frame and the wheels. The hard to get bits were there. So what I've done is I've mocked it up using a few bits and bolts I'd got in the box. Still a couple of bits missing, but this is what it looked like when I bought it. And this is what it's, well, what I'll do is I'll take a tour around it now with you. You can see where we've got so far. So what we'll do is we'll start back here, get a full view of it. I'll probably throw a couple of pictures up at the end anyway, just of as how it looked and how it went as I built it up. But instantly you can see we've got quite a lot of rust on the front end. So the fender is probably just trash. So I might keep it in case we do a wrap project. But the lower springer arm is also pretty rusty, as you can see. Actually, I might need some comments on this, not on the cardboard, but I'm struggling with this bike frame. Now this is a Spin Doctor Team fold away frame, and what I'm finding is this clamp just here, although the clamp to the bike is okay, the rotational clamp is basically causing me a lot of problems. And also I can't keep the front forks steady without jamming some card in there. So I'm looking for a better solution for this, a better stand. If you guys have got one that you swear by, let me know what it is, and I'll get it, because I think it's going to save me a lot of time. And I've also seen ones with tool trays that are on the post there, so I'll probably get one of those as well. But yeah, just let me know what you guys use and I'll look into getting one of those. So back to the bike. So I've had to put a new crown and the bolts in just for now. The bars and everything else is original as it was. We're missing seat post bolts, but looking at the frame, it's pretty bad in the normal places, and then also down near the crank is pretty bad. But the rest of it is actually, I don't know if it's showing up there, although you can see it, it's actually just surface. So there may have been some dirt or debris on there that's just kind of got wet and then surface rusted, and just here I've done a little bit just to clean up, and you can see it's coming up pretty well. And I've done the same back here, hopefully that's showing up on the camera, so you can see stuff I've not touched, and then a section that I've just kind of given a polish to. It's got non-original wheels on, so I'll have to see if I've got some white wall tyres up in the roof space there, but I think the majority of it's there, and I think it'll make a fairly good bike. The crank and that, it's all stamped. That's showing up, but on there you've got the Lowrider collection on there. I've had to throw a set of second-hand pedals on that I'd got, just because they were missing. But I think overall it's got potential. I think the front lower springer arm I'll probably replace. I've got a set of those, so I'll just throw a new set on there. I'll probably spend more time trying to get that back to anywhere near than it's worth, and it's pretty bad just there. That's gone right through and is actually bubbling up, so I think that's not going to come back. So I'll throw this back on the stand, throw the camera back on the stand, and let's get going. So I'm still working with camera angles. The best one would be behind me, but then I cover the bike so you can't see what's happening. So I'm going to go with here. I know you can't see me, but sometimes that's a bonus. But what I'll do is start doing it, and if I'll keep randomly checking to make sure. I'll probably do a lot of high speed as well. You've seen me strip a bike down before, but it's just so we can detail the parts afterwards and look at the state of the wheel rims and that. So let's get cracking. So that's what I was saying about the condition of the fender. It's pretty, I think it's been sat outside for most of its life, so like I say, it might be good for a rat bike, but we're trying to get this one back to you know, pretty, like good, decent condition, so that'll be kept to one side for later. That's part of what I was saying about the stand. As soon as I take the weight off, it just rotates, so I think it's past its best. So anybody that's got a really good stand that they recommend, let me know. I'm not going to be into the thousands of pounds for one, but I've seen some decent ones around about 100, but I've got no experience on them, so I want to know what everybody uses. So comment me up and let me know. Another indication of where it's been spent. It actually looks like it's been sat in a river, or worse, with all the amount of crust and crud on there. And it's everywhere coated in it, so I don't know if it's been stood somewhere where they've been pressure washing, but everything's covered in like a surface soil. So pretty bad. So the rear rim, it's actually holding air, but it's quite a coating, and I don't know if, looking at it, it looks like it might be an oil that's dried. So the actual chrome underneath is not bad, but that's going to take some work, so I think that'll be a full strip down job. Back fender, had a go at it with a bit of WD and some wire wool. A lot of scuffs on it, but don't know, it might come back, might make something, but once again there's a few pretty big pits on it, but we'll have a look. And lesson learned from before, when I was trying to chain split, this one's actually got a split link in it. So I WD'd it, I think yesterday, just last night, just to try and give it a bit of chance of soak to free it up, so we get that split. I think what I'll do is, I've got a bucket with some citric acid in for some other parts I was soaking, so I think we'll just chuck that in for 24 hours and see if we can get a bit of that surface rust off. bearings aren't too bad. To struggle a little bit to get that off, but there's still a bit of fresh grease in there, a bit of outside surface rust and that, but the cages and that look intact, so we'll bathe them and they'll be good to go again. You may have seen a washer fly off somewhere, so I need to retrieve that. Turn the bike. So as I say, normally you can get this out by just loosening the bolt. That's gone and it's seized in there, so I'm going to try and just disassemble this top. Take the crown off first, disassemble this top and see if I can just lift the lot out as an assembly. See how we go with that. This one, as I said earlier, it's quite a bad patch there. Shouldn't really do it with a spanner, but that's quite crusty just there. So that will have definitely taken all the chrome out. I think we'll just leave that in the rat rod pile. That is solid. So I think what we're going to have to do, looking at it, looks like they might have bent this stem as well. So what we're going to have to do is just jet that with some WD-40. Probably leave that overnight to soak. I don't think we're going to get that out anytime soon. There's a gap at that side, it's really tight at this side, so that makes me think, like I say, it's bent. In fact, I think actually time's getting on a little bit as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up for now, and what I'll do is we'll do this in another episode. You'll just see me, I'll do a bit of time lapse on this and just get this frame done, and then start doing some other parts as well. That gives that time to soak. So I'd like to thank you for being with me. Hopefully you've enjoyed me stripping a bike down and project updates, and hopefully you'll join me again when we carry on. Okay, thanks, bye.